Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon. Welcome to the EAC Show. Coming to you from sunny South Florida. We got Marcus Smack and the big one, UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast, Cameron Denton with us on this Zoom call, Zoom episode 31. What's going on, fellas?
Not much, man. Another day in paradise. How you doing over there?
Just making it happen, relaxing. We really had a good episode 30. A lot of people loved episode 30. I mean, I got nothing but text messages, and I'm trying to get these people to push the comments to social media about the Joe Buck situation. That whole thing was hilarious. Everybody was dying off of that.
Yeah, all-time bit. Hopefully he can give us some more conversations about that. Hopefully he can start accepting a job soon because we need content. We need something to speak about. So that was fun. Nice little break.
Yeah, that was really good. Just a reminder for all the listeners and all the people that watch on YouTube, The Last Dance. Don't forget episodes 3 and 4 this Sunday at 9 o'clock on ESPN. You can check them out. Can't wait. Episode 1 and 2 is really, really good. I know we got to get into some mock draft talk. We got to do our picks from 6 through 10 that are left over. I know, Cameron, we discussed the picks 1 through 5, which are pretty much just the same. You know what I'm saying? So 1 through 5 were Joe Burrow, number 1. Number 2 was Chase Young for the Joe Burrow to Cincinnati, Chase Young to the Redskins. Number 3 was Okudah, the cornerback for the Detroit Lions. 4, Isaiah Timmons, the linebacker for the New York Giants. And number 5 is going to be Justin Herbert to the Miami Dolphins. So we'll discuss 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and we'll pick our mock draft picks and go along with that. We're also going to discuss prop bets on certain players, on whether they're going to get picked over under a certain amount of where they are in the draft. So we'll discuss that. And then, of course, this is Wednesday, so we got our EAC headlines. EAC headlines are read off by Marcus Mack. We got a couple things we want to discuss on those EAC headlines, Cameron.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into the back end of our prediction of Mel Kiper's mock draft here, figure out what he thinks for picks 6 through 10. That's the Chargers, Panthers, Cardinals, Jaguars, and Browns. So they'll be on the clock for us in just a moment here. But a lot going on, obviously, the Last Dance, like you said. But, of course, we have the NFL draft starting tomorrow that should take our mind away from everything Corona and back to sports, at least for the time being.
I mean, I saw a little bit on ESPN of them actually doing the virtual draft and how they're going to try to, figure it out and how they're going to show it to the fans and this, that, and the third. And it looked really good. You know, they had reporters reporting who it was going to be. And, you know, it ran smoothly when it was pre-produced. But the difference is this is something that you're trying to do live and then producing it as the reaction comes, which is a little bit different.
Right. Yeah, I did see that as well. So I'm sure a lot of things will be figured out, sort of like a learn by doing situation. But it all tells tomorrow. So whether ready or not, here we come, virtual draft.
So once again, Last Dance Sunday, Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, episodes 3 and 4, 9 o'clock. And tomorrow we got the NFL draft. And here we're going to start with pick number 6. Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock. Mel Kiper has Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama quarterback going at this pick. I don't disagree with him. Cam, you tell me how you feel about it.
Yeah, and we've heard some rumors. We talked right before this, Emilio, about the Dolphins potentially moving a pick up from, I believe, 5 to 4 or 4 to 3 or whichever it was, 5 to 3 in order to acquire the quarterback, which they like, which is Justin Herbert. It's becoming more and more clear that the Dolphins have taken a liking to him, but it does look like around 95% at least says the Dolphins are going to go after a quarterback with their first pick here. So for the Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers. I know. I'm getting there. So for the Chargers, who picked right after the Dolphins, it pretty much comes down to sort of a who's left situation, I think. They're saying that the Dolphins with the 5th pick gets Herbert, and then the next pick right after, Mel has Tua going to the Chargers. So it's interesting to see whether if the Dolphins make a last-second move and go Tua, do the Chargers like Herbert enough to take him with the 6th pick? Do they then trade down and wait? So it'll be interesting to see what will happen with 5 and 6, the combination of the two. But I like Tua to the Chargers. I think, like we talked about before, I think he'll look good in either those colors or the Miami Dolphins colors. He's a flashy guy. He's West Coast. being that he's from Hawaii. So it'll be good to get back to the roots over there. I'm sure it'll feel somewhat like home, but he's a tremendous athlete and a tremendous quarterback. So I know that's what they need right now more than anything, the Chargers.
I think Tua with the Los Angeles Chargers is an excellent pick for a lot of reasons. Great makeup, good kid, West Coast kid, can sling the rock. Tyrod Taylor is not the long-term answer for them in LA. But I just don't enjoy the Tua bashing that's been happening lately. Mike Tannenbaum came out and said that it would be irresponsible for any team within the top 10 picks to pick Tua. I think that's 100% asinine. Mike Tannenbaum, there's a reason why you're doing commentary on ESPN. You can't say that about a player that just can make things happen like Tua can make things happen. Like, I mean, he literally won a national title in half. Half.
Right, just off the bench. Right, I mean, and you can't for me, yeah, I completely agree with you there. But it's also a little bit has to do, well, first of all, nothing that he's shown you all on field can make you feel otherwise than to say that he's worthy of a top 10 draft pick. So it's silly to say that just right off the bat, but I do think a little bit has to do with Tua and his camp coming out a couple weeks ago saying, hey, everything's all good, I'm all healthy, I'm ready to go. I do think that started the conversation of whether he, okay, now he's healthy, so we can pick him here, which spirals into maybe he's not worth a first top 10 round pick. So I think that had something to do with it, his willingness to come out and say that he's healthy and ready to go. But I think that's an asinine comment. I do think Tua is worthy of a top 10 pick. He hasn't showed us anything otherwise.
So now we got on the clock, we got the Carolina Panthers at number 7, and the Carolina Panthers are going to go with Derek Brown, defensive tackle of Auburn. Great player, did his thing over at Auburn, made his name known there. I think that it's an excellent pick for the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers can also go offensive tackle here to help out their newly signed running back and Christian McCaffrey to shore up their offensive line, but I think they end up going with Derek Brown. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't hate that pick at all. I do think he's the top defensive lineman in this draft, not only defensive tackle, but defensive lineman. They grow him big down in SEC country. Like you said, he's from Auburn. So I definitely think it's a good choice if that's the need that they have. I do know the fact that the Panthers were the worst team against the run last year. They were number 32 against the run. If you had a fantasy running back going against the Panthers that week, you felt pretty good. So I would imagine that this would be a smart move for them to go in the first pick, take a defensive tackle, try to plug up those runs.
Agreed. So now we got the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are going to select Tristan Wirth, offensive tackle from Iowa. I think they go with that offensive tackle. And the reason why I think that is because they have the wide receiver in Larry Fitzgerald. They have the wide receiver now in DeAndre Hopkins. They have Murray as their quarterback. They need to show up that offensive line a little bit so Murray doesn't get sacked as much, doesn't have to run out of pocket that much. Give him time to be able to throw the ball down the field and get the ball to these weapons, Kenyon Drake as well. So offensive tackle Tristan Wirth from Iowa.
Yeah, and I see here, I'm looking at Todd McShay's mock draft as well, and he actually has Arizona taking a different offensive tackle, Dredrick Willis out of Alabama. So
that's fine.
Must obviously be for offensive tackle if both of these guys have a different offensive tackle in line for Arizona at pick number 8. And like you said, it makes complete sense. The weapons are there. The offensive personnel is ready to succeed. Let's get a guy that can protect our quarterback, so to allow him to get the ball from A to B, to get the ball to his playmakers. So I think that's what the doctor ordered for a young quarterback in Arizona.
Agreed. Now, Mel Kiper has number 9, Jacksonville Jaguars, selecting wide receiver out of Alabama, true stud down here from South Florida, Jerry Jeudy. I don't think Jerry Jeudy ends up going this late. I think maybe he ends up going a little bit earlier, in my opinion. Maybe somebody comes up and gets him, or he ends up somewhere else. They have DJ Chark, they have D.D. Westbrook, but I don't know if certain powers to be have control. I don't think, Jerry Jeudy with Gardner Minshew would be something really great for Jerry Jeudy's career. It really would help Gardner Minshew, but it won't help Jerry Jeudy.
I mean, yeah, listen, and Todd McShay is just going off yours. I know we're doing Kiper's draft, but McShay has him taking a linebacker. So I hope they go with what Mel is proposing, because we talked about last episode the fact that one of the reasons why Bortles and some of the other quarterbacks in Jacksonville hasn't succeeded is because they don't build around their quarterbacks. They don't stock their personnel with fresh talent. So in order to get a guy like a Jerry Jeudy or a CeeDee Lamb, and spoil your quarterback, spoil your offense, and get a top talent, I think that's in line with what the Jags need to do in order to make the next step forward and compete with that division.
And now on the clock with the last pick for our first top 10 pick in the 2020 NFL mock draft, we got the Cleveland Browns selecting Mika Deacon, offensive tackle from Louisville. I think they sure up the offensive tackle spot as well. I don't disagree with this pick. They already have the weapons with, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Hooper. They have Chubb solidified at running back. Chubb would love to have another person that can block, run block, and pass block to help out. Baker's trash. I'm sorry. You have too many weapons. You got to be able to do something. Jesus.
I know it. Yep. Listen, believe me, I picked them to go over their regular season over-unders. So I have the Browns at least showing up to some extent this year. And it all starts with Baker Mayfield. Can they get it done? So it's good to see that Mel has them going the similar route with Arizona and getting an offensive tackle to protect Baker. This guy is an animal, this Mekhi Becton. I saw him play a little bit, watched his tape. He plays in Louisville. He's 6'7", 370 pounds. So he is a house. So if this can't protect Baker and give him the time necessary to get the ball to his ample personnel, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends galore, then nothing could save him there in Cleveland.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with you. Remember that the NFL draft starts this Thursday. You can check it out on ESPN and ABC. We're going to go with some NFL prop bets on the draft. So the first player that we're going to do on this NFL mock bet draft situation is Tua. And Tua's over under 3.5, meaning is he going to be picked before the third pick or after the third pick? Cam, tell me what your pick is, and I'll tell you what's mine after.
Yeah, some of these prop bets are really great for the draft that we're looking at. Tua, who we're speaking about first here, the Lions have the third pick, correct?
Yes.
So what they're saying is essentially, do the Lions pick him or not? Or
No,
essentially,
that's all they're saying.
Right, I know what you're saying. It's before the third pick, or after the third pick. But it's going to come down to the Lions taking him with the third pick, or them trading down, or just not drafting him overall. I think he's going after the 3.5 pick. I think we have him going exactly to where the mock is, which is the Chargers with the 6th pick. I think that's where he lands. At worst, the Dolphins trade up to 4 and get him. I don't think they move all the way up to 3. So I have him going over 3.5 picks.
Agree. I have him going over 3.5 picks too. Then I'll lead into our next quarterback, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's over under is 5.5. So where do you see Justin Herbert going? Do you think he's going to go before or after?
I think he's going to go before, just because of everything we're hearing about the Dolphins, how much they're falling in love with him. The Dolphins have the 5th pick, so I think he goes right before that. I think Vegas has it right there, and I'm not sure what the VIG looks like. You'll have to let the audience know.
Oh, the VIG is relatively close. It's -110 for the over, and it's -120 for the under. So the under is actually the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, so I really like him going to the Dolphins, so I would take the under there. And then for Tua, the over 3.5 picks is -385, and the under is plus 285. So Vegas obviously likes him to go past the 4th pick. So just to let you know there. And our third player is
Jerry Jeudy. So Jerry Jeudy is 11.5 picks.
Yes. And that's exactly where he was slated. With I believe Mel had him where he had
9 Jacksonville,
and Todd McShay had him at 11. So, like we talk about these wide receivers, it's so unpredictable. And this draft is sort of similar to the draft that Odell Beckham and that huge wide receiver class. I'm sorry, I can't think of any other names from that draft on the spot, but that draft that had a ton of wide receivers. This is a similar draft to that. It's going to depend on who goes first, CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, but they're predicting him 1 pick ahead of CeeDee Lamb. I think he goes with the 11th pick, like we discussed. I'll take the under 11.5, which is actually plus.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the under as well on that pick too. And the last quarterback we got Jordan Love. Jordan Love is -19.5. Is he going to go under or over the 19.5?
I'd say the Packers take him. and it's with the 30th pick. So I think he goes over 19.5. Listen,
you homer. You homer, man. You're a homer.
As a Packer, listen, believe me, I'd rather get a wide receiver. We need it more. But I'm just going realistic here of what I think the franchise is moving towards. And being a Packer fan, man, it's tough. You never get a first-round pick below 25. It's always from 25 or 32. But, it's a little subtle brag right there. But we just got to live with what we're getting.
Absolutely. And then a little bonus. Over, under, total Alabama plays selected in the first round, 5.5. You think it goes over or you think it goes under?
That's pretty absurd, right? So Vegas thinks that Alabama has 5 or 6 players going in the first round, which is pretty ridiculous if you really break it down and think about it. But that's why they win so many national championships. I say under just because I can't see it. 6 players from one team going in the first round.
All right, I'll be devil's advocate. I'll say over just in case. You know what I mean? Hey, look, shout out to Marcus Mack, because Marcus Mack did end up sending us in the group chat on the EAC show. He sent a little dig on you because there was some information about the Dallas Cowboys and this, that, and third. So he wanted to send Cameron a little because it said America's team. So he just wanted to let you know a little bit that they're still out there calling Dallas America's team, by the way.
Of course, and they're gonna continue because they think that's what fits for them. It's not.
Tell him, Marcus Mack, how you sent that in the chat.
I knew for a fact that was gonna irk Cameron.
They're not even. Hey, listen, they're not even Texas's team. Houston is Texas's team. They're not even Texas's team.
I mean, in these days, no. Like real enthusiasts, real. Like football back in the day.
Marcus. Emmitt Smith and Roger Staubach was America's team. This team right now, they're not America's team until they win a playoff game.
Yeah, your dad.
They haven't won a playoff game since I've been a little girl, a young 5-year-old girl. They haven't won a playoff game.
Marcus got the yak. You saw the little yak sip?
He's sipping?
He's sipping on the yak.
Had a very long day.
Well, by the way, just off topic here, did you see this prop bet here for over under total quarterbacks drafted in the first round?
I just closed it. What was it?
Vegas has total quarterbacks drafted in the first round over or under 4.5. Over 4.5 is plus 550, and under 4.5 is minus 900.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to state this, and this is just going to be the truth. I'm going to say under, right? But I think Bill Belichick will literally F me on this pick right here, and I'm going to tell you why. If Bill Belichick for some reason pulls out something miraculous and ends up coming up in the draft higher and end up selecting somebody that ends up falling, this is going to go over.
But think about it, though. Everyone's been talking about Joe Burrow, Tua, and Justin Herbert. In Todd McShay's mock draft, he doesn't even have Jordan Love in the first round. He only has 3 quarterbacks in the first round, and he's a professional.
But still, you never know. Look at that. Who had Daniel Jones?
Listen, you do never know. Correct. But he's a professional draft analyst who only has 3 quarterbacks in his first round. This is over under 4.5. I'm going to put my life on minus 900 at under 4.5 quarterbacks in the first round. How is 5 quarterbacks going to be taken in the first round?
You're not – listen, so you're going to bet it's the biggest $900, isn't it?
Yes, $900. I'm going to risk 900 to win 100.
Stop.
I don't think there's going to be 5 quarterbacks in the first round.
Pause. Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is where I'm going to bring you into this. Okay, we're going to go back to the brick situation, okay?
This one shouldn't be too hard.
And when we talk about bricks, we're actually talking about actual bricks, Marcus, like bricks that you laid.
Definitely, to build a building.
Okay, good.
Yeah, concrete.
So if
brick.
I tell you that I'm going to give you $100 if you can put together 5 bricks in a certain period of time, which is normally not supposed to happen, right?
Right.
And you tell me, well, I think I can get 4, right?
Right.
Okay. So in order to get that 5th brick, I need you to put up $900 of your money that you don't even have to only make 100. Would you do it?
I mean, that sounds like an ass bet to me.
Yeah, but you didn't talk about the confidence level and what minus 900 means.
I mean, either way,
Marcus,
it's an ass bet. That's like going to a X game with no money.
Minus 900 means that the likelihood of that occurring
It's gonna happen.
extremely high. So
so what are the chances that it doesn't happen?
then you lose $900. But guess what? Scary Money doesn't make money.
The chances are, the very small chance is that you're going to lose money that you don't have.
Correct, but it wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the last time.
If that happens on any block in Brooklyn, New York, you have a serious problem, my friend.
It will not be the first. Listen, I take tails when it's heads or tails in the Super Bowl. I bet the over-under.
That's 50-50.
As of right now, I believe that Emilio has the crown for all bets. I believe.
I actually went back and looked at some pictures. That crown still looks good on my head.
I know. Listen, I'll never get over Gladys Knight going over 49.5 seconds of the national anthem. I'll never live it down. She should have went under. She said brave twice. It was BS.
So we got right after the promo, we got EAC headlines. So Marcus Mack, make sure you got those EAC headlines ready to go. So this part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or natural pre-workout shot of that Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC, and that's El Cubano Sandwich Shop in Cold Springs. Now, guys, Marcus Mack, we got the EAC headlines. Hit the mute button, Marcus.
The cognac.
This is exactly what's going to happen in the draft. This is what's going to happen in the draft.
Andy Reid, we can't hear you. Press the mic button, Andy.
You still can't hear me? You can hear me, right?
No, we go. We can hear you now. So Marcus Mack,
headlines.
So lead us off to the EAC headlines and EAC headlines number one.
Okay, EAC headline number one, we're starting with MLB. MLB suspends Red Sox replay operator, and Alex Cora suspended for conduct with Astros.
I'm gonna let you take this, Emilio, because it's your sport.
You know I'm about to go ham. I'm about to go ham, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm about to go ham. Commissioner Manfred, you are hands down the dumbest commissioner of all of sports. You are completely devaluing baseball.
Multiple times.
To punish the Astros as least as you did, and then to punish the main person that designed this whole sign stealing thing in Alex Cora, and you give him just 1 year suspension. You suspend the Red Sox replay guy for a year, and you lose a couple picks. This is not. Just cheat. Everybody just cheat. Just do it. Let them all cheat.
The ramifications don't seem too bad. You might as well risk it.
I might as well tell my son to go cheat when he's playing baseball, because you know what? You only get a slap on the wrist if you cheat.
Right. Yeah. You're not teaching the youth the right thing. You got to nip this in the bud so it doesn't happen again. You're leaving the door open for other teams when you do this.
Listen, this is ridiculous. This is just, you get it wrong the first time, you make a mistake. You get it wrong the second time, you're just being asinine. That's crazy.
Here are we thinking that the coronavirus is going to take all the pain and suffering away from the Astros and Rob Manfred, and then Manfred comes out and he makes bad negativity, bad PR storms again and again, time after time for himself.
He's just an idiot.
He's incompetent.
He's just like real talk. He's just like a derelict. And I know Marcus Mack can relate, because you haven't heard that word in a long time.
You know, I was about to say that's an old school one. Yeah, he took it back.
He's a straight derelict. Like, seriously, I don't understand how you get it wrong twice.
Third time's a charm. You don't get another one. So
time after time.
This is so bad for baseball. Like people that have integrity, Justin Turner, Mike Trout, Cody Bellinger, Albert Pujols, like certain players just looking at it like, damn, what are you doing?
Yeah. The league they knew is sort of evaporating before them.
And then if you read the statements in the article, once again, you can see his lawyer terminology. I never found any evidence to prove that Alex Cora did anything with you damn buffoon. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, he comes from a lawyer background, but right now you're a commissioner. So act like a commissioner and do what's right for the league.
Yo, listen, Roger Goodell gets a lot of flack because he's the iron fist. And Adam Silver, he don't play around with nothing. You saw what he did to the Clippers owner, Mr. Sterling. got rid of him real quick. Get out of here. Get your racist, slave-owning ways out of here. We don't accept that whatsoever. Yo, Rob Manfred is like the assistant dean that never puts you in like detention or like when you get a referral, she never really goes out with it. She's the pushover. She just go back to class. Don't worry about it. You're a good kid.
You're right, because normally the commissioner to pick on is Roger Goodell. But ever since coronavirus started, the fact that Rob Manfred has taken the dunce cap for all sporting commissioners and put it on his own head, and the fact that Roger Goodell legalized marijuana, he's coming out of this coronavirus smelling like roses, Roger Goodell. So he smells
like straight OG Kush. That's what he smells like, honestly. I'll be honest.
Absolutely. Post 420 Roger Goodell.
Marcus Mack, what's headline number 2 on the EAC show?
Headline number 2, we're going into college football. NCAA approves college football rules change, including the one that addresses 2019 Iron Bowl controversy. I believe that has something to do with the kick at halftime.
Yeah, the Alabama-Auburn.
Here goes another derelict situation, to be honest with you. Like, seriously. The NCAA don't get nothing right. They're morons, too.
Don't get me started on the NCAA.
No,
you have to. I need you to.
Cam, you're up.
I mean, look at these the rules. Some of the rules they imposed. The 2-minute for replay review that came out.
Who cares?
Right, that should have been in place regardless. Don't make that news. That's not news. You have the review for the ejections for targeting. Right, that's now going to be in.
Who cares? Right,
old news. Something that should have been in place. And then what was the third one there? The interaction between teams, the pregame.
Who gives a damn about the teams interacting before the game?
Right. I don't know how none of this affected the gameplay of college football. They came out like it was huge news. I guess sort of in light of all the other sporting organizations.
Yo, it was like, you know what this was? This was like Jay Glazer when Jay Glazer warned the whole world that he had amazing news coming up, 9 o'clock, Fox thing, and it was such a dud. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I mean, Brian Allen, we never want anybody to get coronavirus, but no one even knew. Brian Allen was like the manager at Publix. Right. And then the next day they said Von Miller had it. Now, if you would have came out and said Von Miller had the coronavirus, that'd have been different. But you said Brian Allen.
Right. Yeah. Brian Allen, I guess they just reported it because he was the first in the NFL. But you got to think, you think Brian Allen is like, damn, Von Miller's sort of stealing my coronavirus shine. Like the next day, Von Miller comes out and takes the shine away. You can't even get coronavirus and shine out here.
Listen, NCAA, you're derelict. And Rob Manfred, you're derelict. So we're going to go to the next topic. Marcus Mack, we got an EAC. Next topic number 3.
Yeah, we're going into, I want to say this is a Social Media Mondays topic, but
somewhat. I mean, it's basically.
You know what? We'll go into that last. We're going to go into the Tom Brady, Rob, how you say his name?
Gronkowski.
Gronkowski, right? Yeah. Rob Gronkowski says he hinted to Tom Brady about possible return 2 months ago. Saying, I guess he.
What's your thoughts? So obviously, this is what the entire sports world is talking about. You probably are already sick of hearing all of the Gronk to Tampa Bay news, but this is our take on it. Emilio, what's your say?
Let me explain something to you. This is making me more and more a Bill Belichick fan. And I'm going to explain to you guys why this is making me more and more Bill Belichick's fan. And I'm a New York Jets fan, so I can't stand New England, but I respect the hell out of him. And I respect the hell out of that man. People are getting mad, and I saw some of the inserts that Rob Gronkowski was talking about where he said that Belichick was making New England like an unbearable place to be because it was just winning. Everything was just winning. That's what greats do. Greats become massholes. They become people that you're not going to like. Like, that's just facts. People can sit there and be like, yo, Michael Jordan was a prick. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player to ever live. That's the way it works.
Right.
This is not a popularity contest, Cam and Marcus Mack. This is about being great. And in order to be great, you're going to step over a bunch of people along the way.
you only get haters when you've done something right or have accomplished success. It's kind of like that commercial that they did after Kobe retired, where as he was walking out of the stadium, everyone was booing him and screaming at him, and he was just like walking, smiling. Like, you appreciate your haters because it makes you think you've done something right. They have a reason to hate. So Belichick, he's using it as fire for the engine.
Yeah, that's
I'd love to see them.
When your work speaks for you, that's when it's like
It screams. His work screams for him. It doesn't speak.
There's a famous saying in Batman, I think it was, that it was like
you live to be the hero, but long enough to see yourself become the villain, or something like that.
Exactly what is happening with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. They were literally
so much depth.
Listen, they literally in the beginning. No, New England. Who New England? New England, whatever. Win a championship. Okay.
That. Just for the record.
1-1. No big deal. They win more. Damn. They start winning more. Damn. Then all of a sudden, all the hate starts coming in. And you don't really appreciate how much work actually is put in to become that great. So somebody like Gronkowski sitting there saying, well, I was in New England, and all of a sudden Bill was always like, oh, we were 9-1, and it was about on to the next one. Yeah, right. Because that's how it works. Like, I give you a prime example, Marcus Mack and Cameron. Marcus Mack, you don't get credit for being a good father. You just have to be a good father. Cameron, you don't get credit for being a good person. You just have to be a good person. I don't get credit for being a great husband. It's just my job. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I might do immaculate stuff one day, and the next day come along, I didn't get credit for the immaculate stuff I did. I'm going to get ridiculed for the stuff that I didn't do today.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes into Bill Belichick saying the do your job, like that's the culture he tries to build around. That's that quote. So plays right into it. And you're right. I mean, it's two straight dynasties of hate that's been built up. So now that it's evaporated and no Gronk, no Tom Brady, we're gonna see how strong the hate holds up for a team like New England. But you gotta love Gronk to Tampa Bay. I think it's great. I love seeing it. A world of football with Gronk in it is just better. It's better for everyone involved. So I'm very excited to see what it comes of. And the tight end room in Tampa Bay now has Rob Gronkowski, O.J. Howard, and Cameron Brate. You got to think they're getting rid of one of those guys. I think O.J. Howard said he was unhappy with the situation in Tampa Bay now that Gronkowski's there. I heard him linked with not only the Patriots for a possible trade, but the Redskins, the Bears, whoever else needs a tight end. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm excited. And now all the pressure for me, Emilio, now the pressure's on Bruce Arians.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm letting you know right now, the first reporter to ask Bill Belichick about Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady is going to get to – this is the answer they're going to get. The exact answer. We're on to Buffalo.
Right.
That's it.
You're gonna get a whole stared right into your face, like just an evil stare followed by a "we're on to Buffalo" or "right, we're on to the next one." Yep,
we're on to Buffalo. He doesn't care.
Yeah, agreed. But I do think the pressure's on the Bucs now and Bruce Arians. You maybe use your first year as your build chemistry year, but with this offense now, the familiarity with Gronkowski for Tom Brady plus all the other weapons that are in Tampa Bay with a good defense, something's got to give. They must get over 9.5 wins, which is the regular season prediction. I think. I'm
gonna tell you right now. Bill Belichick's wife cooks dinner and knows better to ask him what he wants to eat the next day.
Right. Yeah.
If they had chicken cutlet on Wednesday, she's not asking him what do you want to eat the Thursday because he's gonna be like, on to the next one.
I'm still focused on this cutlet. Right. One thing at a time.
We spoke about this with Tom Brady a few episodes ago too. Like it'll be the fairy tale story for him to come in and actually make it to the playoffs with Tampa, let alone win a Super Bowl. Like that'd be a story to tell.
It's all within reach. Like Emilio said, it's a tough division. The Saints are going to be a thorn in their side, but they're a good enough football team all around.
Do you think they would really need a year to build chemistry?
Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you just have it. With a guy like Tom Brady, with the veteran skill set which he has, obviously the chip on his shoulder, wanting to make an impact right away, knowing that he only has maybe 3 years left on his body. You got to think it's going to be business right away. So I don't think there's going to be any downtime. I think they're going to get right to it.
So Darrelle Revis,
Yes.
he tweets something to Richard Sherman, which could have ruffled some feathers. He said 3 facts here at Richard Sherman. I'm more handsome than him, according to women. I'm better at corners than him. This is why I wanted to leave this for last. Better at corner than him, according to everyone. Shuts down corners and paid more than zone 3 corners, which I'm currently still am today.
Now, mind you, I'm gonna applaud Marcus Mack for his read on the tweet. Okay.
Oh God. Yeah. You like the epic pauses, right?
Yeah. Like the epic pauses. You added a little bit of ambiance to it. So I give you that.
Yeah. When I seen it, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be funny. I said I had to save this for the last topic.
So I don't even know, Cam, and you gotta tell me. Revis just be coming out the blue at Sherm like there's no tomorrow. Like, yo, he just be digging him, like, literally.
He knows he's every time he comes at him, he's starting to get him upset. So he's almost like instigating him now. He's sort of creating some beef hype here that we need it during this coronavirus, man.
You know what, Cam? You know what Darrelle Revis is to Richard Sherman?
Huh.
Darrelle Revis is that high school player that's the best football player on the team. And then you got the little, like, young freshman, sophomore player that's coming up that he has potential. But the senior, who's Darrelle Revis, knows, and he keeps plucking him in the air and then, like, messing with him in the hallway.
Right.
Twitter right now. They are killing them on Twitter.
And playing around with him, and, you know, in front of girls and stuff, and belittle. He's basically picking on his little brother.
Right, yeah, and I just love the fact that Revis hasn't played in 3 years, and he's still like, I'm better than him. Like,
it's like he walks by the hallway and he's like, oh, yo, you see these? You see all these awards? Yeah, I did that. Okay, that's me.
They're mine. Yeah.
It's like Al Bundy. It's like Al Bundy from Married with Children, constantly reminding everybody that he won a championship when he was in high school.
But here's the funny part. Here's really the funny part. I really want our viewers to see this.
So we'll have to verbalize it.
Is hilarious, bro.
Yes.
Look at this one right here. What he said, Darrelle.
Play it, and then I'll recite it.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know if it's gonna come out. I don't know if it's gonna come out for the fans to hear, but you can check it out on Revis's Twitter, and it's basically just fans just adding their opinions on it.
I rap better than you. My gun's bigger than you. My girl's better than you.
In a nutshell, that's pretty much Revis.
My shirt's crispier than yours.
Listen, not for nothing. Darrelle Revis, I'm a fan of Darrelle Revis. Always have been, always will be. Darrelle Revis actually responded to us on the EAC Kicks Instagram when I asked him if a certain pair of kicks ever came out, why Nike held him back, and he basically told me to go talk to Nike. I tried to reach out for a comment, but I got absolutely nothing on that. So, but Revis is just bored at the crib, sitting at home, maybe sipping on some yak like Marcus Mack is doing right now.
And he's in the house bored.
And he just went in on Sherm today.
Hey, we need it. We need more beef like this. Like the like, what's it called? What was that beef? Who was it between? Eric Weddle and
Ed Reed?
And Eric Weddle and Antonio Brown.
No, what we really need is Joe Buck to take that job.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
We need that, but for Twitter's sake, we need Antonio Brown to come back into our lives. We need something to talk about here.
Yeah,
Marcus Mack is never gonna let that Joe Buck thing down.
I'm not. I love to leave the funny topics and headlines for last because they always get me. If they ever want to hear me talk, they know I'm going to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
So guys, that's going to conclude episode 31 of the EAC show. We appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you click like, subscribe, comment on YouTube and all social media platforms. Make sure you rate, review on all podcast platforms. Check us out Friday for episode 32. Marcus Mack, appreciate you. Cameron, appreciate you. Episode 32, heavy reaction to the first round of the NFL draft. So we'll talk about that on Friday, guys. Enjoy. Peace.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.